Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So we're going to get caught up on the couple of more Shonen Jump videos that dropped this week before I start tearing down my office for some home renovation stuff and before I go on break again. So we got some Gokurakugai, latest chapter of Akane Banashi, as well as Kaiju number 8 to get through. So yeah, a lot of good content coming your way, at least for this today, before I go on hiatus again. So if you haven't already, as always, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But without further ado, let's dive into it with Gokurakugai Chapter 19, Let's Make a Suicide Pact, by Yuto Sano, with translation by David Evelyn, lettering by Kyla Aiko. I will say I really do love this cover page where you see Alma and Utsu just kind of like dancing happily, and then you see like the little like mirror reflection as like all the corpses that or like the people she's killed so far. So I really do like that. So we have a good evening. I've got the Brat's location and the lowdown on little Utsu. Yeah, where are they? And there's like they were seen going toward the coastal park arm in arm. The hell's he doing? What a disgrace! How dare he go gallivanting around without a care? I guess I gotta buy the homeless guy who gave me this info a cup of sake or something. And you see Tao's driving down the road as she's listening to this report from Tatsuomi. And you have now about little Utsu, or to be accurate, little Utsuro. Another cutie. Dang shame. She's been missing since last year. The only sign of her was the blood left in her apartment complex. Enough that she should have died. Now they think it's haunted. And Tao's like, if there's no body, then she's a suspect. It's like the guy who was supposedly dating her was found dead in his apartment and covered in blood. It's like, wow, violent stuff. I pick up where last time with Utsu having stabbed Alma. God damn, she stabs him through the arm and then rips it out through there. And then slices off his hand as well afterwards. And she keeps just like repeatedly stabbing as like Alma's trying to block him. She just keeps repeatedly stabbing through the arm. He's like, crap, my arms. You have what's going on? It's like, all that blood. And you see this other couple also walking down by like the little river side path. And you have Utsu going, you're in the way. As Alma's distracted. Oh no, sorry, it's Alma saying you're in the way. As Utsu just like throws the knife into his arm. He's like, you need to run! Run away! You see, Utsu just like slices his throat. Oh, she is just vicious. Slices his throat, drops down to start stabbing him through the leg, kicks him backwards. And as he's kind of like falling backwards, he goes, let's make a suicide pact, Alma. And he sees her just glaring at her. He's like, why? He's like, why? And she just keeps stabbing him. It's like, you would never act that way, would you, Alma? You wouldn't, right? Right, Alma? And as he like collapses backwards, you see this little ring that like on this necklace, this ring on a chain like dangling off his neck. And she looks at it. Oh, god damn, bro. And you see a flashback to, I assume, when she died. She's got like cuts all over her arms, bleeding out, cuts all over her legs. And you see she's living like this messy room with like broken pieces of glass from like all these portraits and stuff she smashed all over the place. And as she wakes up, you have a morning. And was it Yomi is there, the white-haired guy with like the black suit. And he's like, who are you? Why? It's like, Utsu should be dead. It's like, don't worry, you are dead. Living was hard, wasn't it? You'll be happy with us from now on. She's like, happy? Oh, god damn it, man. And you see like little flashbacks to her like cutting herself on her arm, like self-harming. First the pair of scissors, then with like a little, not a switchblade, but like one of those retractable knives. And then with like an actual knife, you see like more and more cuts like piling up on her arm. And Jeff, I'm sorry for worrying you. Please don't say you want to die. It's like, again? Quit trying to do that to get my attention. It's like, God, enough of that already. You never listen. You're a pain in the ass. He's like, see? If Utsu does this, then someone will look after her. Utsu was right after all. God. I guess we'll talk about that, at the end towards this. And he's like, what's your name? And she's like, Utsuro. He's like, Utsuro. That's a nice name. It suits you. And she's like, who are you? He's like, Yomi. He's like, Yomi, Mr. Yomi. And she's got like all hard eyes. And you see as he's doing like the little like thoughtful look on his face, you see he has a ring on his finger. all similar to the one Alma has on his neck. She's like, that ring, it's the same as Mr. Yomi's. And she reaches out, snatches it off him. Goes, you have Utsu, Alma, so you can't cheat on her, right? You don't need this, right? And you see Alma as he's getting back up, looking furious, going, give it back. He's like reaching out for the little handle for the sword in his chest. Or I do love that, like, the little arm stump, you see, like, the little exposed, like, bits of bone coming out of it, like, where it was chopped off. And you see him, like, using those exposed bone ends to then, like, drag the sword out of his chest with the ring. So that's pretty fucking baller. I do love that. So you see, as he draws it out, she's trying to go in for another stab, and you see him slicing her arm off and sending it flying and slicing off the other one as well as he regenerates his. What the hell? Hold on. Okay, so he slices off her other arm, grabs one of them. Is he grabbing one of them? I can't tell. This is a very odd band. Oh, it is grabbing one of them. He's got this. He's got his cleaver in the other hand. That's why I was looking confused. But it looks like he's grabbing it. What the fuck is he doing with it? Oh, okay. No, sorry, I couldn't see it. So he cut off the hand that was holding the ring, grabbed it back from her, and took the ring out of the hand and put it back onto his pinky finger. He goes, all my life, my wounds have always healed easily, but I've never bled like this. It freaked me out. It's like, so you're the blood loss death Maga? And she's like, Maga doesn't have a nice ring to it. Call me Utsuro, okay? And she goes with a knife stab and tries to slash him. And he just ducks underneath and kicks her in the midsection and sends her flying back into the bench. She goes, hey, you're the worst. Kicking a girl in the gut? The Alma I know would never do something so cruel. It's like, you've been on Utsu's side since we met. Don't worry, Utsu will return you back to the kind person. Again, I do love, like, the artistic choices and things in this, where she's actually saying to the kind person you were, Alma, and he slices through her head, and you see a slice in the dialogue box right through Alma's name as he's saying it. He's like, you need to shut your damn mouth already. And as her head goes flying off, he goes, I knew it. Cutting someone who looks human doesn't feel right, even though you're a bad guy, unlike Kanata. And you see, as like the body's kind of like staggering around, she reaches into her pocket and pulls out like a black pill of some kind and swallows it. And you see her like face starting to regenerate. And he goes, phew, overdosing on these things can cause an adverse reaction, but good, looks like I'm still okay. Now tell me, who's Kanata? And you see both her eyes have now gone like completely black. So that's another new name you've dropped. Don't you think you're a pretty bad guy yourself with all that cheating you do, Alma? He's like, don't lump me in. And he's like, don't lump me in with the likes of you, you lousy bitch. And you see that she summoned like a bunch of floating knives just to surround him. And she's like, call me Utsuro. As we get to the end. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this chapter. Because I guess we'll just get to the other part. Because like, we'll talk about the end. So first, like the positive stuff. Again, the artwork is phenomenal. Like I said, I really did love the cover page. And the way it was like framed and everything was done. I really liked that as a touch. I do like, again, stuff like with the thing where you see like the dialogue bubble being cut in half as almost interrupting Utsu's little speech there. So all that stuff is still very solid. Like I said, it was really badass. Like almost just like using like the little bone charts to pull out his own knife from his chest. So that was all good stuff. Apart from that, again, I feel like I can't remember which video it was I've talked about this, but I've mentioned before that dealing with kind of like mental health issues in your manga can be a very delicate subject if not handled respectfully and with nuance, and Sano's kind of gone the opposite end with that, because Utsuru is obviously like, you know, meant to be kind of like the yandere trope, where it's like, you know, you have the psychotic girlfriend, you know, who will try to like kill anyone that gets in the way of your love, etc., etc. You know, she wants the hero to focus only on her, kind of like that. But I feel like the issue is he's playing it just way too straight, and it's making Utsu too much of a one-dimensional character when I feel like she should be afforded more sympathy than she is currently. Because again, like, self-harm is a very serious issue that does affect a lot of people. And one of the things about, like, not even only self-harm is, like, there's this rumor or this myth that, people that do the self-harm are like, oh, if I do this, I'll get attention, is a harmful myth where it causes kind of like the perpetuation of the self-harm, where people will be like, oh, if I just do more of this, I'll get attention. And it kind of just leads into like this cycle, like this unhealthy cycle. And so the fact that, the manga's kind of playing that up with being like, oh, Utsu's just doing this for attention. Like, look at her, she's completely off her rocker, etc., etc., and is not really kind of framing her as the victim of this, as being manipulated by Yomi, is kind of leaving a bad taste in my mouth. Especially with Alma kind of like also being like, oh, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, oh, you're just a bad guy, that doesn't really sit right with me, especially with like how much her overreactions are being played up with, like the gasping and like all the affectation stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to wait to see where this goes, but yeah, right now it's kind of left a sour taste in my mouth with the way it's being handled. Especially with like all the comedy like precluding leading up to this, kind of just like makes it even worse. So I don't know. Hopefully it gets better from here on out, but right now not so great. So with all that said, if you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, after these couple of Shonen Jump videos, I will be going on break. I'll have some renovations and stuff going on in my home, so I have to kind of tear down my office and things. I'll hopefully be back sometime in August. I haven't decided yet if I will or not. We'll see how this hiatus, how I'm feeling at the end of this hiatus. But as always, if you like this video, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned at the beginning, it really does mean a lot to me. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.